So, you're thinking about buying a new construction home, but you have heard such horror stories about working with builders. I understand. So what can you do to build the home you want without the headaches that goes with it? I got you here. In this video, we will look at some very important tips and steps that will set the right expectation, as well as things to watch out for when building a new construction home. And we're going to get to it right now. If this is your first time to my channel and you want to know everything about living in North Georgia, hit the subscribe button and click on the notification bell so that you are the first to know when I post videos like these and current market information here in North Georgia. My name is Hasna Pierce and I get calls and emails and text messages every single day from people just like you looking to move to North Georgia. Whether you're moving in 9 days or 90 days, shoot me a text, send me an email, or give me a call, and I would love to make your move to Georgia smooth and easy. Now, let's take a look at what some of the key steps and important tips that you should remember and be mindful of when you're looking to build a new construction home here in North Georgia. In my last video of builders offering discounts on new home construction, I shared that according to Jerry Conter, he's the chairman of the National Home Builders Association, he says this: due to high mortgage rates, elevated construction costs, and decreased consumer demand because of housing affordability, this has resulted in the number of new built single-family homes declined 12 straight months in 2022. And the latest survey shows 62% of builders are using incentives to bolster sales, including providing mortgage rates buy down, paying points for buyers, and offering price reductions. So, what this means is that this is a good time to look into buying a new construction home. But it can be a disaster if, number one, you don't know what questions to ask when meeting with a builder. Number two, you don't understand the building process and timeline, and this can easily frustrate anyone. And number three, if you try to do this with the assistance of a realtor who is an advocate for you and 100% watching out for your best interests only. So, always use a professional real estate agent that represents you and you alone when working with a builder. The real estate professional that you meet with at the model home, they work for the builder and serve the builder's interests. That's important for you to know. Your own realtor will be your strongest ally to get the results you want and the home you deserve. So, that's all the PSA I have to say about using a realtor when making such a huge investment, huge purchase, especially when you're working with a new home construction. Okay, let's start. Obviously, when buying real estate, the most important consideration is location, right? Such as, if you're a family with school-aged children, you want to look to make sure that the location is in a good school district. Is it highly ranked? What are the graduation rate of the school? Student-teacher ratio? Diversity of students? Is it a good school for student athletes? Etc., etc., etc. Decide on that so that you don't regret later if this is a good fit for your family. Homes located in great school district tends to hold its value and easier to sell when you decide to move on to your next home. Also, is it close to shopping, restaurants, entertainment, and your workplace? Do you want to live in the suburb or do you want to be closer to the city? So, once you have nailed down the location, then you and your realtor can begin looking at builders that are building in your preferred area and in your price point. It is very important to find a reputable and reliable builder. This is where your realtor can really help you do the research. Do extensive research and read reviews from previous clients. A little word of caution though, when reading reviews. There are no perfect builders out there. None, period. So, take the reviews with a grain of salt and at the same time, don't discount them. Ask the builders for references and make sure to follow up with those references. It is also a good idea for you and your realtor to meet with multiple builders before making a final decision. Now, let's talk about pricing. Pricing is very important, right? So as you do your research, keep in mind that when you see on the builder's website words like starting with base price X, you need to understand that it is rarely sold at that price. You want to ask what the base price include. Very important to ask, does it include the lot premium? Lot premium, depending on the location of the lot, can vary greatly. Cul-de-sac lots are going to be more expensive. Large lots will have larger premiums. Basement lots may cost more than slab lots, etc., etc., etc. So remember, when you see on the builder's website where it says base price starting with and then a list of the price, it is rarely what the price will eventually be when you are done with all of the discussions and you see what it is on paper. Okay? So remember that. Next, you will want to tour the model home, right? Chances are, when you have made the decision about where you want to build your next home and which builder you want to use, you and your realtor will meet the builder's salesperson at the model home to discuss details. And when you tour the model home, remember that model homes are typically loaded with extras and has many upgrades. It is so easy to fall in love with the perfectly staged model home. But caution, don't sign on that dotted line until you get a clear answer of which features in that model home have been upgraded. Builders want to show off their best work. Some model homes might have upgraded cabinetry, appliances, and even lighting packages that are not included in the base price of that floor plan. Plus, it is fully furnished to give you the most appealing vibe, right? So, I would encourage you to ask if there's a similar model that has been completed but empty for you to tour so that you can see what it looks like vacant. You will get a better idea of how it feels like, how comfortable you feel with the floor plan, the flow, the vibe without all of the fluff and decor. And as you tour the model home, ask the salesperson to share what comes standard and what are upgrades. If there's a particular upgrade with that model that you like, I would strongly suggest that you ask about the cost to add that upgrade into your contract. You don't want to have any surprises when you get to the closing table and you see that the price of your home have increased significantly. Ooh, that would be a huge no-no. Now, when you think about building your brand new home, a new construction, you may think that you can customize your home. Well, not really. You see, most builders can be classified as production builders or custom builders. I recently posted a video of a luxury home in Canton, Georgia by Steve Powell, who is a fabulous custom builder. So check that video out. The link is in the description below. Custom builders can customize your home to your preferences. Even big changes such as moving the master bedroom upstairs to downstairs, closing up a 2-story family room and adding a loft upstairs, and even adding swimming pool in the backyard if there's enough room, etc., etc. This custom builder, Steve Powell, can do all of that as long as the changes are requested before they break ground. Each builder has a different timeline for that, so consult with them before you move forward. Production builders like Toll Brothers are huge here in Georgia, and they don't do a lot of customizations. It's limited for each of the plans that they offer, but it can be done. This video that I just recently posted on Toll Brothers gives you a good idea what a production home looks like. Some custom builders won't even allow you to change the flooring from carpet to hardwood during the construction process. And that is because they have carefully included everything in their pricing, and some has even placed the order for all the materials before they begin construction. So changes and customization for production builders are very limited. So you want to check into that before you sign on the dotted line. All right, another important tip is to be mindful of escalation clauses. With the cost of materials increasing and some limited supplies availability, some builders do have escalation clauses built into the contract where it states that if the cost of materials increase after you have signed the contract and during the building process, the builder has the right to pass those prices on to you at closing. Yikes! I have heard such horror stories from buyers who were blindsided by that. Some had to abandon the contract at the closing table because they simply could not afford the $30,000 to $50,000 price increase from the original contract price, and some even more. So, read the contract thoroughly with your realtor before you commit and before you sign on the bottom line. So let's talk completion timeline. How long will it take to complete building your home from permit to final product? This is obviously very important if you're working with a deadline. According to National Association of Builders, the average time it takes to build a new home from permit to final product is between 7 to 11 months. That's pretty typical. However, that is an estimate if there are no delays in the process at all, such as limited building supplies or weather-related issues. Some builders here in Georgia are estimating somewhere between 18 to 24 months, while others are shorter. I think the 18 to 24 months is crazy, but there are some builders that are predicting that's how long it's going to take for them to complete building your home. Now, some homes, like spec homes, are going to have shorter completion timeline. So always remember to ask your builder how long it's going to take to complete the building process before you getting into the details of the home and the upgrades and everything that is involved in creating a contract for you to put your stamp of approval on. It is so important. 24 months. A lot can happen in 24 months. I don't want to have to wait 24 months from the time I sign my contract until when my home is completed, right? So a lot of people feel that way. So remember to ask about completion timeline. So you've navigated all the important steps before signing the contract. You have picked out your finishes, your colors, your equipment packages, tiles, flooring, etc. You understand what is involved and what you will get, and you're starting to get excited. Let's talk briefly about the building process though. This can be very exciting to see the progress of your home, but it can also be a little overwhelming if you don't understand the steps. So, the first steps of actually building your home is the excavation process at the site. Preparing the land for the foundation, digging the trenches for the foundation. The foundation is the most important part of the building process. This can include a poured concrete foundation, a block foundation, or other materials. This is where you will see heavy equipment on the lot, beginning the process and getting the excavation site ready for them to start framing. Once the foundation is completed, the framing process will begin. This is where the walls, floors, and roof are constructed using wood or steel framing. The framing crew will measure and cut the materials to size and then assemble. So you'll see lots of activity at the site. After the framing is completed, the plumbing, electrical, and HVAC systems are installed. This involves running the pipes and wiring throughout the home to provide the necessary services. I know you're getting excited because you can really see your home taking shape, but this is an important step that I need you to remember. This is where I recommend that the builder allows you time to hire a professional inspector to inspect the framing, the wiring, and system installation before the drywall goes up. Builders understand the county's requirement to meet certain building codes, and I know that they work with their structural engineers to make sure that the plans and the homes that they're building are built to code and have structural integrity. But with the volume of homes that some of these production builders are building, sometimes things are missed. So I strongly recommend that a pre-drywall inspection is done on all new constructions. Many times we have lists of items that needed to be repaired and redone because it doesn't meet code or have some structural integrity issues and so forth and so forth. So don't skip this part. I would also highly recommend that you take pictures of the walls that has electrical wiring behind it before the walls go up so that you can use this as a reference later when you want to know what is behind this wall before you drill a hole to put shelving up, etc. It will come in very handy when you've moved into the home and you want to set your home up the way you want it to look. Now that the drywall is hung on the framing and sanded and finished to create a smooth surface, the final touches are added to the home, such as installing the doors, the windows, cabinets are up, countertops are laid, floorings down, painting, landscaping, and other exterior finishes. It is really starting to take shape. Note though, but if you don't see the appliances in the home when it gets to this stage, it's because the appliances are typically the last thing to go in. So once the appliances goes in, this is where you do your second inspection. Your home should be inspected by a third party of your choice to ensure that it meets all the necessary codes and standards. This may include a building code inspection, and usually the builder have their own building code inspection, but you want to hire your own personal inspector to inspect the electrical, the plumbing, the HVAC systems, the construction. All of that needs to be done by your preferred inspector so that they can give you an inspection report that you can look and go through with the builder. A word of caution though, if you are the kind of buyer that visits the site often, don't be alarmed by the little imperfections that you see. Most builders will go through the home first to catch anything that needs attention and fix it. Builders or their representative typically will do 2 separate walkthroughs with you before closing on the home. The first one is what they call the construction walkthrough to review everything and address any concerns you have about the home. This is best done after you have had a chance to have your own home inspector go through the home first. Then you and the builder can address any concerns in the inspection report that your inspector will provide you at the time of the construction walkthrough. The builder and you with your realtor will then agree on what needs to be addressed, have it written in a contract and signed. The second walkthrough is the final walkthrough, typically done a few days before closing to confirm that everything your builder and you has agreed upon to fix has been completed. The builder will also, at this time, orient you to the home during the final walkthrough. They will review the warranties with you. They will show you the features of the home, where the light switches are located, and any special things about the home. Finally, closing day, and you get the keys to your brand new home. I know that this is a lot of information to hit you with and can be overwhelming. That is why you need a trusted real estate professional to guide you through this process. If you're thinking about building a brand new home here in North Georgia, shoot me a text, send me an email, give me a call, or simply schedule a 15-minute online face-to-face meeting with me to discuss the details of building your brand new home. All the information is in the description below, and until I hear from you, I hope you have an awesome day.